doing today?
Good, Sean. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's no problem, man. It's great to have you on here. Um, so what inspired you to get into music? Like, what's your inspiration behind the music?
Oh man, I started playing music when I was really young, and I remember like my mom was telling me when I was really young, like 5 years old and stuff. I would line up my stuffed animals in my bed and sing to them and everything, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I guess did it because it's what I enjoyed doing. And so when I was about 9, 10 years old, something like that, is when I realized that this is what I wanted to do for a living was sing. And so it's been a long time I've been doing it, and I gave it up for a long time too, and then came back to it. So
Right, right. So I seen on your website, you actually opened for some big bands as well.
yeah, yeah, quite a few years ago.
That's really
Um,
awesome, man.
yeah,
That's
thank you.
that's great. That had to be like, wow, like your wow moment.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It was cool. I guess my best one was, I mean, for me, because I mean, I'm sure like other people know who Papa Roach is more than the one I'm going to say, but like one of my favorite moments opening up for somebody was probably Brett Michaels because
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I really liked Poison, and I remember I used to tell people, one day I'm gonna open up for Brett Michaels and stuff, and or I probably said Poison, but like I finally got to open up for Brett Michaels, and I did it twice, and so it was
Wow.
kind of I guess I say a dream or something that happened or whatever, so a
So
goal,
that
I
was
guess. So
that was your wow moment.
yeah, it was really cool. So
Right,
he's
right.
a really nice, really humble dude. Also, he's very very cool.
That's awesome,
So,
man. That's
yeah.
awesome. That was like for us, we actually interviewed a guy that was on stage with Elvis Presley.
Oh,
And
nice.
yes, that was our wow moment. Like it's like somebody's famous and they're on our podcast.
Yeah,
Like, how did that happen? Like, what happened? And he actually has a book out and that's what he was promoting. And I was like, dude, you can say whatever you want. You want to promote your book the whole podcast? I don't care. Go ahead. And he told
that's really
stories
cool.
about I Love Lucy or Lucille Ball and singing with or dancing with Elvis on stage, and I was like, "That's awesome." Yeah, it's
That
really
is
good, man.
cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Who
Um,
was it?
his name was James Hilbert.
Okay, I haven't, but that's really cool though. That's awesome.
Yeah, his video's actually in one of in my YouTube. I'll have to send it to you. I'll send you his whole
Yeah,
video
please
so you can
do.
check it out. Yeah, because it's really awesome. I mean, his story's great. Like, he's an inspiration.
That's
Definitely is.
cool.
Can you describe your journey as a musician?
Yeah, so like I said, I started off when I started doing it was really really young, and I did talent shows and things like that, and I just loved doing it. And I remember in fourth grade, I had a band called, and I say band very loosely. We were just like kids in school that were like we're in a band, and like we didn't really play any instruments or anything at the time, so we just thought we were cool because we were in a band.
Right.
And it was when Def Leppard was around, so it was like Brian Other and Noise Boys, and we spelt it the same way with like the same like type of yellow in between the letters and stuff, and it was kind of neat. But we did that in fourth grade. Didn't never We never played, and in like seventh and eighth grade, I started playing with a band for the
Oh,
first time, and we didn't do a whole lot of stuff. We really just practiced, and that was about it. We weren't very good. And then we got to, I think about high school or the very end of high school is when I started actually playing in a band. We started playing out and doing things, and then it just kind of progressed from there. But then in 20 close to 2012, 2011, I got burned out, got tired of doing it, didn't want to do it anymore, and so I stopped doing it. I wasn't chasing it, wasn't seeking it anymore. And then about 2020, the very beginning of 2020, and it's pre-COVID, that wouldn't even exist until the time. I started going through depression and anxiety, and
yes.
at the time, I was doing film, I was acting and directing and doing all that sort of stuff, and I just cried out to God to give me purpose and everything, and just to give me something to do. And I felt like He had nudged me back into music again, and to
Right,
pick up my guitar. And so I picked up my guitar, started writing music, but this time I was writing the things I was going through, and I was writing more to glorify God and stuff. And so that's where I started getting into Christian music and playing more of that than rock music. I never played anything bad to begin with, but it was
right,
just I was just playing rock music and what I wanted to play, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this time I was doing it for with a purpose, with a passion. And then I started sharing the things that God had done in my life and how He led me to my wife, and I got a whole bunch of stories and testimonies of things He's done in my life. And that's what I do now is I share that and play music and just try to encourage people that even if you're suffering with whatever you're going through, depression, anxiety, addiction, whatever it is, you're not alone. I mean,
right.
we all suffer, we all are broken. And I mean, that's why we need Jesus. And I mean, it's I mean he's just he's so good, man. He's so faithful.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome, man. It's great when you find your out, because depression does bring down a lot of people,
yeah,
but when you find your out, that's when it changes, man. It makes your life way better. That's
yeah,
awesome, man. That's a
yeah.
really good journey. What
Thank you.
hey, now you said you were into films. What type of films were you in?
So I was just doing. I started off as a background actor, and I fell in love with doing it. And the first film I was in was the first major film I was in was Lincoln, the Spielberg one, and I was just a background actor as all I was doing. So I got to put in like the Confederate soldier costumes, and we were in Virginia, so it was freezing cold in November, and we got to get in like this water that was just freezing cold, but we got to like wear a wetsuit underneath of our costume, and it was just a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed it. I loved doing that and getting in the costume and do the character acting and stuff. So that's where I started enjoying that stuff, and I went from there to I did my first leading role on a TV show called man, what is it? What was it called? Alaska Ice Cold Killers or something like that. It was one of those reenactment shows on Discovery Channel, and I played the
Okay.
lead role in that. And so that was my first major role. And then and then just from there, I would do whatever come up. I would do background roles, I would do lead roles, I would do supporting roles. I would do them for, I did more of those Discovery Channel TV shows. I did Lost in the Sun, which Josh Jamal's in. I had a very small speaking role in that where I had like I think I said like three lines and that was it. And and I joined the union and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoy doing that too, and I still enjoy acting. I mean, it's a
Right,
lot of
right,
it's a lot of fun.
right. That's awesome, man. So you've actually experienced the upper life, the higher life.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a series you can watch on Amazon Prime that I also directed and acted in. It's called Death and Compromise. It's a Western comedy.
I'm gonna have to
So
watch it.
yeah, check that
Mm,
out. It's
You're gonna have to
four
you're gonna have
seasons.
to send me it in chat and
Yeah, I'll do that.
definitely because I'm gonna check it out. I will definitely
Okay,
check it out.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
that sounds really cool, man. That's an awesome life though. I mean, like it's definitely you're definitely doing it. So I mean,
Yeah,
we need to expose people to your music because like I've listened to it and it's
yeah.
awesome. Like
Thank you.
it's really good music. Um, let's see. Do you have any specific routine or environment that helps you write when you're writing?
Um, I wouldn't say like any specific environment or anything. I just there's times, man, it's crazy. Like sometimes it just comes to me, and I mean, for different reasons, different times. It might be something I'm going through, so I write about it. It might be something that God places on my heart, and so I start writing about it. It might be something that I'm completely doing with writing, and then all of a sudden it changes to something different. Um, and I mean, it's just different. I might hear somebody's story. Like I have a song passenger side where I heard somebody's story, and I got in my car and it kind of like the lyrics started popping in my mind. And so I felt like, kind of like God was giving me these lyrics to write this song.
Yeah,
And the song is about, hopping over the passenger side and letting God drive. And
oh, that,
so it's just different scenarios that, there's no rhyme or no reason to it. It just sometimes I'm going through something and I write about it. Sometimes I just have an idea or God gives me something to write and just or I feel like he gives me something to write.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
I
I
get
mean,
definitely give him the glory for that. So
right, right. I mean,
um
who's there to say he doesn't? Because he
yeah.
definitely could. We don't know. It just comes to you, so it definitely could
Yeah.
be being put there. That's
Yeah. So
awesome, man.
I definitely give him the glory for that. So and I mean
That's that's really good.
yeah.
I seen you on the news. Like there was a news segment of you singing and
Oh,
stuff. I believe
was that the Hampton Road show?
it was News 10 or something like that.
Oh yeah, Wavy TV 10. That was a Hampton Road show thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
awesome, man. So
Thank
you're
you.
making
Thank you.
what song was that?
So that's one of my new ones that's coming out this year. It's called, or that I'm trying to put out this year. It's called "Wouldn't Be Me and You." And I wrote that song because, like, my wife and I got married in our 40s, so we both got married a little later in life. We'd never been married before, didn't have any kids or anything, and so until we got together, now we have a 12-month-old baby girl. Well, almost 12 months. So
Congratulations.
she's 11 months. She'll be a year, February 26th, and so that was just a whole journey that we went through. And it was. I mean, we still are in part of that season, but it was just a struggle for us to financially and just the things that we were going through. And so I kind of wrote that starting off just to be like, now we're in our 40s, married first time with a baby on the way, just trying to get by. That's the first verse.
Right.
And it just talks about, the different season we're in. And then in the chorus, I talk about how, I know that she could have had, this whole like dream life of, being married in her 20s and met the right person and all that stuff. But, I mean, I'm grateful. I mean, I'm sorry that she didn't get to have that, but I'm also grateful that she didn't, because if she had, there wouldn't be her and I. So that's where
Right.
wouldn't be me and you came out. And, and you go through the second verse and it's like, seasons come and seasons go. We're barely holding on, but we're provided for. As long as it's always you and me, God and our little girl, we got all we need.
That's
And
awesome.
so I just wrote that song for her to kind of just give her some encouragement, and also probably to encourage myself as well. And
Right.
just to show that we all go through different seasons and stuff. We don't know why we're there sometimes or why we're going through them, but where we're supposed to be for whatever reason at that time. And I truly
Yeah.
believe that.
That's awesome, man. That's really good. So you gave her glory right on live TV. That's
Yeah.
great, man. That's the best gift in the world, right? You would say. You know? What themes do you find yourself drawing to in your music? Now, you said God.
Yeah, I think that's honestly probably the biggest theme that I've got going on right now. It's just there's yeah, just writing about him and writing about the things that he's done. And um that's my biggest theme right now, is just
Right.
sharing what he's done.
And your genre would be country, right?
I'd say Christian. I'd say
Christian.
Christian country, Christian rock, because
Yeah.
I have some rock songs that are Christian, some country Christian songs, and I've also got some worship tunes too. So it's more so Christian, but I've also got Christian rock, Christian country. So it's
Okay.
kind
Yeah,
of
because I was gonna say the ones I must have heard must have been just your Christian country ones because
yeah. Did you hear
yeah,
the song "It'll Be All Right"? Is that the one you heard?
I think so. Yeah, I
Okay,
think so. I
yeah,
think
that's
that's the
Christian
one that
country.
I think that's the one that made me think of somebody another a singer when I heard
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the one. I believe that that's the one. Yeah. Is there
That's cool.
okay, so no, we know the answer to that one. How does your personal experience shape your lyrics?
Oh man, they they shape it a lot. I mean, I know like when I wrote back in the day, it was more so. I mean, I probably wrote some out of feeling and emotions and things I went through, but a lot. I'll say part of some of the stuff I wrote back in the day, I just wrote because that's what came out. But now it's more so the things that I write now are, I mean, it's from my life, or things that I've seen other people go through, or things that I'm going through at the time, or to try and encourage somebody, or whatever it is. I mean, so it it shapes my life a lot, and it comes from my experiences and stuff, and things that you know other people have talked to me about and stuff. So a
Right,
lot.
right. Yeah, definitely. And you see a lot of like famous actors and stuff. I mean, they got all the fame in the world, but you could still see the depression on them.
Yeah,
And
man,
that's crazy.
you know it. I know it is crazy. It's like I'm not even like, I mean, I would love to get my music out there, but I'm not seeking to be a millionaire. I'm not seeking to to be famous or whatever and stuff. I mean,
Right,
I'd love to be well known enough to where obviously I can continue to do this and get more gigs and like, and get the music out there and do more things,
right,
but it's not yeah, I mean, because that's not going to change anything that you're going through. It's not going to, it's not going to, in fact, it can heighten the things you're going through,
right. Definitely.
make them, so, I mean, the important thing to me is like, uh, I mean, outside of my relationship with Jesus, the important thing to me is my family. I want to make sure that, my baby girl grows up and knowing that she is loved by both of her parents, and I mean, I would love to be able to help as many people as I can, with, being encouraging and stuff, but also, I love that, if God blesses me with this, I love that I'll be able to do something I enjoy doing
Right,
and doing it for a living, and to give him praise and stuff. And it's not
right.
always easy either, because I don't, I mean, because I have, I mean, obviously I want to, put this out there that I am all flesh and human. So
Yeah,
I have my selfish moments and my selfish motives and stuff that
def-
I have to check myself.
yeah,
But in my heart, I know that's what I want.
yeah. That's definitely all of us have that where we got to check
Yeah.
ourselves because
Yeah.
I mean it's like the podcast. So I started this podcast to highlight trash men, right? Because we're unseen. Nobody sees us. We're out there picking up trash all day, and nobody sees us. So I was like, I'm gonna start a podcast to like showcase us. I want to get as many trash men on as I can, and let them tell their stories, and then I ran it and nothing. Like I got a few at the beginning and I was like, "Oh man, this is not going where I want it to go." So then I started reaching out to other people. I met a lot of interesting people. Then I met you and I was like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Sweet." And then like right after you said yes, like a whole bunch of trash men just started coming to me like, "Hey, I want to come on. I want to come on." And I was like, "Oh my god, like what just happened?" So that had to have been like you that sent them to me or something
Oh,
because
that had nothing to do with me, but that's awesome. But
because it
yeah,
was, like, right
but
after I talked to you. It was, like, for real, like, a day or 2 later, I did a post in a group chat, and a lot of people came to me and was like, "Yeah, I wanna come on," and I was like, "What? Like, what just happened?" I did the same exact post weeks ago, and I got nothing from it. And then, like,
yeah.
right after I talked to you and you said, "Yeah, I'll come on," just I got blown up, and I was like, "This is crazy."
That's
So,
awesome. Well, what's
yeah.
even crazier is I actually used to drive a dump truck years and years ago. I didn't do it for very long. I probably did it for like maybe 3 months or something.
Did you?
But yeah, 3, 6 months. I think it was like probably more like 3 months. But yeah, I drove a dump truck or yeah, a trash truck where you do the lift and it puts it in the thing. I drove one of
Oh,
those
really?
for probably about 3 months. Yeah, years and years ago.
Really?
Absolutely.
Like the
Yeah.
AFL? It has the claw that comes out and picks up the trash and
Yeah, yeah, I
did
drove
you
well,
really?
it didn't have the claws, like, last time, like, when I was doing it, because it was, like, probably 20 years ago, if not maybe a little bit well, about probably about 20 years ago, something like that, but I you would have to get out of the truck and push the, trash can to the lip of it, and it would pick it up under the lift
Oh,
and,
okay.
the lip of it, whatever, and dump it.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, I drove one of those, man.
Really? That's awesome, man. That's
Like, 20
awesome.
years ago, but it was cool, yeah.
You got paid really well doing it too, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't I mean, I don't remember what the pay was, but I mean, it couldn't have been too bad, but,
Yeah. Because, I
um,
mean, nowadays, we make really good money doing this, so it's
yeah.
it's definitely a good job. The only thing is, if you live in a place with snow, it's terrible,
Oh, yeah.
especially your style, because you had to get out. See, nowadays, we just got a claw that comes out and grabs the can and puts it in the truck.
Oh, see, that's nice. We didn't have that, or at
Yeah,
least I didn't where I was working at, so
maybe you gotta get back into it.
yeah, right?
I mean,
For
it's a good
real.
job. So, now you do gigs and stuff, but do you, like, have
I
a
do.
a a full-time job?
So I don't have a full-time, like, steady full-time job. What I do is I work with a band that another band, and I pretty much essentially I'm production assistant and roadie for them. So it's someone I've known for a long, long time, and they're doing really well. And he was like, hey, come work for me whenever you're not playing, and it'll give you some freedom and stuff. And he pays me well to do that. So I go and I'll do shows with them. I'll load them in, load them out, sell merch if they got merch. If he needs me to run to the airport and pick somebody up or whatever and stuff like that, I'll do that. And mostly that was during like Christmas. They had somebody come in from to be some guests with them and stuff. And so I'll do things like that for them. And then so whenever they're playing and I'm not playing, I'm doing that. And then also I teach guitar lessons. I have 3 students. My
Oh,
wife has like 18 piano students, but I have like 3 guitar students that I teach. And then I'll get my father-in-law owns a food business, and so I'll go get cheese for him once a week if he needs me to, and he'll pay me to do that. And then so
wow.
I do different like just different odds and end things here whenever I'm not playing. And then I also, like you said, I play different places. I
You
played
go
every
on shows.
churches, county fairs, whatever, just different events and stuff, and whoever hires me. So
Right, right. That's awesome. That's actually really good. That's,
thank you.
it's almost like a dream job right there
Yeah.
because, like, you're not, like, clocking in every day.
Well, yeah, and that's true. I mean, it is. I'm very thankful for it, but also at the same time, like it's it'd be nice to have the consistency, or for
Yeah,
this to do something where whether I become just a full time songwriter or become an artist or whatever the plan is for my life, and have that consistency of a constant coming in.
right.
That would be nice, but I mean. But
It
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's taking care of us for now, and like I mean, I mean, my in-laws
whatever
are amazing, so it's been,
right.
so
Whatever makes ends meet, man.
yeah,
It's all that matters as long as you're able to pay them bills.
yeah.
That's what really matters. So, you have you ever thought about going back to TV?
I would, yeah. I mean, definitely if up, I would love to. I like acting, so I would love to do that. So I
Right.
haven't been like submitting for any roles or anything like that recently, and I haven't done that in a little while. But if jobs came up and presented themselves to me, I would absolutely I would do it for sure. Well, I
That's
did have one job just recently come up to me. A friend of mine who was in film, he reached out to me the other day actually and was like, "Hey, we want to see if you can do some ADR work for us." And so it's just you know it's just some background ADR work they want me to put on track and send to them and stuff. And so it's nothing crazy, but I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So if
awesome.
more things came out, I would absolutely do it. But I haven't really been submitting for the jobs that I used to. So
See, you ain't even putting your resume out there yet.
no, it's been like because I mean I'm so tied up with trying to like write more songs and get that stuff out there that I haven't put myself out there. But if the jobs came up there, obviously I'd be able to make time and do it. just
Right,
I
right.
just haven't like taken the time to like actually submit to more acting jobs like I was in the past. So
Yeah, it is difficult, and plus you got a almost a newborn, so you got a little
yes,
baby, so
yeah.
that makes life a little bit harder.
Oh man, yeah, and yeah, it does. But I wouldn't trade that for the world, man. She is.
Uh-uh. No.
And I know you know, 'cause I know you got a
Yeah,
daughter. She's just amazing, man. I love it. I love
yeah,
being a dad. I
definitely.
really do.
Now, do you, did like, playing instruments come easy to you, or did you actually have to go to somebody and learn?
No, I had to. Well, so I didn't really. I took a little bit of lessons, but not really. Like, so I wouldn't say, but also wouldn't say it came natural to me.
Right.
Like, if you heard me play back in the day, you'd probably been like, "This guy's awful," but this guy needs to learn, take lessons or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's one of those things that I took lessons for probably a couple weeks, and then I think at that time I think I was like 9 years old or 10 years old or something. I think the guitar teacher told my mom that he's not ready or something. So like I didn't even finish taking lessons, and then like later in life. I ended up taking lessons again, probably for like a month or two, maybe. It wasn't very long. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but I took lessons for a little bit of time, and then I just didn't continue with it. So I was more so a lot of self-taught and just people teaching me or watching people or listening and stuff and learning it, man. I don't really know where it came from, to be honest with you, but
Right.
that's about the extent of my lessons was that and just like learning from people,
Yeah. And
like random people and stuff, friends or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, like, my daughter, it just, like, naturally came to her. We got her a guitar, and she played it.
Yeah,
I think she don't even YouTube, like, she listens to people play, and then she mimics it.
that's awesome. Though. Some
Ye
people have that gift, and
Yeah,
apparently she's got it, so it's
yeah.
cool.
Piano too. She could play piano too. And
That's
it's
so
like,
awesome.
just came to her, and it's like, "Wait a minute, what?" Like, what's going on? And the song that you heard her play, I think I sent you her one song.
Yeah, and it
Um,
was really good. I was actually really impressed with her, man. She's
she
really good.
she
She's got a
learned it
good
all.
voice too.
Yeah, she learned it all on her own. And
That's
it's like,
awesome.
"What the heck? What the" and I know she hates watching YouTube videos. Like, you can watch YouTube tutorials now on how to
Yeah.
do it. She hates that.
Oh,
She
wow.
she looks up string chords and then plays it by that, and it's like, "Where did you even learn to read that?" Like,
That's cool, yeah.
so
She's got a gift because I remember listening, she's good.
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to push her into going, but she's more focused on college, so
Yeah.
we gotta
But
let her
that's
go. Yeah.
yeah. But that's okay though. Whatever her life is gonna turn out like,
Mhm.
nobody's gonna close that door.
No,
If
no.
if God's got a calling on her life, man, and nobody's gonna close that door. It's gonna come to her wherever she's at, whatever she's doing.
Yes, for sure.
And
Yeah.
so that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really good. Now, do you travel and do gigs, or do you just do, like, local gigs?
No, I travel also. I've traveled to see, I've been to a bunch of different places, but like the recent ones I've done is I went to Tennessee like 3 different times last year.
That's a good
Um
place too.
and yeah, I love going out in Tennessee and playing. But I've been out in Tennessee 3 different times last year. I was in um Florida for a week and a half playing prison ministry down there. And
Right.
I've done that a couple times down in Florida. And so, yeah, I mean, and I've been up to Leesburg, which is almost up into the Maryland, the West Virginia Maryland border. Been up there playing a couple times. So, absolutely, I travel wherever the gigs are.
You gotta work your way down towards the Finger Lakes. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
wineries.
where is that
There's
at?
the Finger Lakes in New York.
Okay, yeah.
There's a bunch
Well,
of wineries.
if somebody wants me to come play, I mean, they
Is a bunch.
I'll do it. So,
That's the yeah. So, like, I signed my daughter up for it, and,
mm,
I actually didn't know how to like, they came back at me and they were like, "So how much are you gonna charge?" And I was like, "Now we got a problem because I don't know what to charge." So I was like, $100.
yeah.
She ended up catching the flu that week, though, and I had to cancel it.
No.
Yeah, so it really stunk, and I was like, "Oh, man, this is bad." But,
Yeah.
yeah. She, and she was a little bit upset too, so I'm trying to get her back to that same, winery, but it was a
Yeah.
winery. Yeah, the winery, but they do a lot of them out here, and, from what I'm told is you make your money off a tip jar.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think you
Mm,
put out a tip jar and you make your money. I don't like I said, I don't know too much about it, so I didn't know how to even book her. I just know that
yeah.
they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, we'll have her." And I was like, "Well, let's do, uh, this."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I mean, hopefully hopefully she gets into it and goes along with it because it is a good thing to get into. Music does change you,
Yeah.
as long as you're doing it for good and not
Yeah. Yeah. I
some of the
agree.
music today. Some of the music is bad.
Yeah.
Have you okay, so have you ever actually collaborated with another artist? Like not they don't even gotta be famous, but do you collaborate with other artists?
Yeah, yeah. I've started doing more songwriting with other people. Well, it's funny because I actually have a songwriting session here in a little bit with another friend of mine. But I do. So yeah, I do collaborate with other songwriters. I'm just now more so getting into that than I ever have in my entire life. But other than being in bands and I write something and I bring it to the band room, like here, this is what I have. I have a finished song here, and then obviously we play together and stuff. But yeah, I love writing with other people, and I'm trying to do it more because it's when you're writing on your own. I mean, you're one head thinking this process, this whole thing, and
Right.
when you have more people, it's like you really can bounce ideas off of people. You can be like, somebody's like, "Oh, I got this idea right here," and it might spark an idea for the other person. You're like, "Oh, yes, but like, what if we do this?" And
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea." Oh, and that like, and you start just bouncing ideas, and I love that process and stuff. And
right,
so I've been definitely trying to do that a lot more lately.
right. That's what you would think of, like, when you heard the people that used to play, like, banjos and guitars and stuff, and they'd all just sit there and just play it until everything sounded good together,
Yeah.
And it actually some of that stuff came out real good. I think bluegrass is the one that they do that, like, they just all play together and,
Yeah.
put notes together, and it actually turns out really good. Yeah, I don't know. That's a that's a challenge. What's the biggest challenge you faced in the music industry?
Oh man. I think the biggest challenge that I've faced in the music industry more so recently is I find it harder um to keep steady work than I ever did with it before back in the day. I mean, back in the day I felt like I could book, 100 gigs,
Right,
and it was easy. There was no like difficult challenge for booking in them. I could just call a place and be like, "Hey, I want to book a gig at your facility or whatever," and they'd be like, "Sure, send us a." Either they would book me on the spot, or they'd be like, "Yeah, send me a song and whatever else, your press package, bio and all that stuff." And I'd send that, and it was like you get booked. It was just I just didn't really find it very challenging to book a bunch of gigs and stuff. I mean, you didn't get all of them that you tried for, but you could book quite a few. And I feel like that's been like my hardest thing right now lately is just continually to stay consistent, and and continue to keep that booking going to where you're constantly booked, and as well as like like you were saying earlier, just getting that music out there and stuff, but not trying to but letting it naturally get out there, like like
right,
people like Sean, you were saying you share it with everybody, and like just letting people just they listen to it and they're like, oh, I love this, I want to share it and stuff. And
right,
'cause I don't like to just like keep throwing it up in people's faces and
right,
stuff.
right,
And so that's been like I think my hardest challenge is just trying to like keep getting the music out there and keep myself booked consistently. But
right.
then the challenge with that too is getting a booking agent. They want to make sure that you're fully booked yourself before they get involved. So it's just like it's a catch 22,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yep, that I found the same thing with, like, podcasts, like, to, like, bring on a sponsor. It's the same concept, like, they want you to have, like, 1,000,000 people watching you, and it's like, "Hang on, we're just starting," like,
Yeah.
we don't have 1,000,000 people yet, but, I mean, it's like, I guess the road you take, you know? As long as you keep persistent with it, it should go, you know? How long has your channel been up,
Mhm.
like, your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel has actually been up for a long time, but I don't really do a whole lot for the longest time. I didn't do a whole lot with it at all. I had it
Right,
up. I don't remember if I had it up when I was doing music back in the past or not, but so I can't remember how long it's been up for as far as specifically. But I know when I was doing acting, I had it up there, and I would post my demo reels and things like that. But I really didn't do a whole lot of a whole lot of other posting,
right.
and I'm just figuring out about shorts now, like how to send those out and make more of those. And
Yeah.
so, but then it's
Eh
like getting the time to, and that's part of my problem is trying to get the time to like, because
Mhm.
I'm a one man army at the moment. I'm trying to like, do my own website. I mean, my wife helps me with the website, but like, but keeping it updated, getting a newsletter out, and I'm just, keeping social media updated, and then like editing videos, trying to put them up there, recording videos, writing music, trying to play the shows. It's just like I'm like I can't do it all, and then have a family and stuff, and it's hard.
Right.
So like, so I don't stay on top of it like I
Yeah,
should,
yeah.
but I've had it up there for a while, and I've it lay dormant for a long time.
Yeah, that was the
So
same thing with me when I started the podcast. I was like, "Hang on, let me." So I put it up, and I got like, I think like 20 subscribers, and I was like, "Oh man, this is moving slow." I looked on Facebook, and I started posting stuff on Facebook. I got a few more viewers on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, we're moving better here. Let's stay on Facebook." And I completely ignored YouTube, and
yeah,
then found out like, "Hang on, I can post to everything." Like, what am I doing? So then we went harder on Facebook with it, and, I mean, it's growing slowly, but it's growing, you know?
yeah,
It's just that consistency, I guess, just keep putting stuff out and letting people see it. I'm so like I said, I'm surprised your channel ain't a lot bigger than it is. I expected to look
thanks.
at it in, like, millions of subscribers, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I wish.
I thought, man,
Maybe
like,
one
hearing
day.
some of your songs, man, I would think that it'd be people don't know what they're missing yet.
Thank you, I
They
appreciate it.
definitely don't, because your music is really good. It's definitely inspiring music.
Thank you.
Never give that up.
Yeah. Well,
So, how is that evolution of, your music impacting you?
um, ask that a different way.
So, damn, I'm trying to think of how to ask that a different way now. Um, how does, like, the growth of your music, uh, um,
How does that
impact you?
impact me? I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to really. I mean, I. It's nice. It's nice when people are listening to it. When people are listening to it. It's nice when you you've encouraged somebody. Like if I I play a show or something, and somebody comes up, they're like, hey, I needed to hear that today, or that was very encouraging or something, or they start telling me what they're struggling with, what they're going through, and you know, so they're like, I don't know, they just start telling me how encouraging it was or how much it impacted them. I feel like
Right,
that impacts me a lot because it's then I know that I've done something, even if I've touched one person's life, at that event, that means a whole lot to me
yeah,
because then I know I'm not just doing this um,
for no reason.
for no reason at all. I
Yeah,
mean, there's some sort of reason I'm doing this and I'm helping somebody and stuff. And I mean, it also, it impacts me personally too because it's like it's something I can look back at because there's times where I get off track and I'm not really thinking about the things that that God has brought me through, or things that the blessings that I have in my life, even for that matter. Sometimes, I mean,
right,
and I can look back at some of these songs, and they're not only like encouraging and healing for maybe other people, but they remind me of some of the moments that I've been in, and hey, I'm doing better now, and like, and and I still have my moments, where,
right.
I might be depressed or I might, be down or something. And those are good reminders where they impact my life just listening to some of my songs and going, okay, not that I sit there and listen to my music a lot, so that sounds bad, but like,
Oh, I
but
was gonna say
if I hear it, I can be like, oh man, like I remember that moment. I remember
right,
that moment I wrote that song and what I was going through, what I was feeling. And then then I'm more grateful and I'm like, man, thank you, Lord, for bringing me through that. Thank you for
Yeah.
that song. Thank you for that reminder,
Right.
of how so it impacts me. Like it's those songs are not just for other people; they're also for me, man. Those
Right.
songs help me sometimes.
Now, is it easy for you to listen to your own songs? Or
No,
does, like, your own voice, you're like, "Oh my god,
no, no,
this
it's
is
not.
terrible."
I have different moments. If I'm being honest, I have different moments. Like sometimes, I'll listen to my stuff and I'm like, okay, I can handle listening to it. And there's other moments I'm just like, man, please shut this thing off. Like turn it off. I don't want to hear it. I can't listen to it.
Right, right.
So
Like,
it's
I
yeah,
found that out with getting this mic because this mic puts the sound through my ears, where my
yeah,
old mic didn't do it. So, now I can hear myself talking, and it's like, "Dude, shut the hell up. What are you even talking about?"
yeah,
It's definitely, man, it's definitely crazy. Now you said you went
yeah.
from, like, country to, like, rock to, like, Christian. Um, so that growth, was that, like, you did country songs, rock songs, and then Christian songs, or was it, like, a mix and match?
So I grew up doing a bunch of rock stuff really, and it was like I'd say somewhere along the lines of like the Nickelback, Creed, Three Doors Down, that sort of type of stuff,
Yeah.
and like that genre of rock. And I just grew up playing a lot of that, and then I've mostly stuck with that most of my life until I mean I did probably some like Jason Mraz style like pop and you know but I don't think I wrote any country songs until I started doing Christian music. And then I
Mm,
wrote like I think I've written like two or three, probably about three Christian country songs.
right.
And the rest of the stuff is Christian rock or worship or just things like that. But it's like, yeah, it was a different transition. I mean,
Yeah,
I did a lot of rock stuff before. And
yeah. Country is.
yeah, yeah,
Country is hard. When I heard them songs and I'm like, "Hang on, what the heck? He's a country singer? Like, this is really good." Now, Creed is another good one too. Creed,
yeah,
he started off doing, like, hardcore rock and then switched over to, Christian music as well.
yeah, yeah. Scott
So,
Stapp, yeah.
yeah, I listened to a lot of him growing up as well, and he definitely does very well.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Right, right. Now you, did you need to go and take care of your or do your song?
Yeah, let me message him and see if he's ready. Because if he tells me he's got a few minutes, then I'll stay on. So
Right, right.
um,
I looked down at the time and I was like, "Oh, no." But it's really cool having you on, man, and definitely would like to have you back because
yeah,
your stories are awesome.
thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's see what he says. Ask him if he's ready to write or does he need a few more minutes. So yeah, yeah, man, it's cool. Like I appreciate you having me on here and stuff. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I've got so many different man, I've got stories we didn't even get into about how I mean God led me to from Texas to Virginia and stuff, and through a whole Joshua 1:9 that verse, and how
Yeah.
I met my wife. Man, it's just crazy how I met my wife. I mean, that was God's hands all in that, and
Right,
I mean, man, it's so awesome, and I love sharing those things because I know it
right.
encourages other people, and I just think it's awesome. So thank you
It's
for
that
having
it
me and letting
definitely
me
is.
speak
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, man, and it's, definitely would like to have you on. Do you see any, where do you see you going in the future? Like, your goals for this next few
Um,
years?
I would say I would love to write more and to release more music and to play more shows and just to get out there and do more stuff and continue to do it. Um, I mean, it was a good. I think this year was really good musically for me, and I got to play a lot of stuff and got to do a lot of podcasts and got to do Wavy TV 10 and do a radio station I've done a bunch of other times in the past, and so
Right.
it's been a good year, and I would love to see that grow. And just I'm excited to see whatever it is that whatever doors are going to open, really.
Yeah,
And but I would love to be writing more music and stuff, and writing with more professional songwriters and stuff that can teach me a little bit more. That can help me like get better at that craft and stuff. And so
right, you can never learn too much.
No, definitely not, man. I've got a
Right.
lot of room to grow, a
Yeah,
lot of room to
definitely.
learn. So,
All of us
yeah.
do. And look at this, if you ever wanna come back on, I can shoot most of the time after 5. You just
Okay.
text me and say, "Hey, I wanna go on your podcast." I'll throw up a live.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
you
See
know,
what
I
we can
got
do.
tons of free time after usually after 5. I mean, if it's, something going on, like I'm stuck at work or something, I'll just say, "Hey, look it, give me a little bit longer." But usually after
Okay.
5, I'm home, so I'll definitely bring you back on and we can shoot some more, so
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let me
'cause
know.
this is really interesting. Well, you let me know.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
definitely let me know. I mean, if you just have time and open, you're open, just shoot me a message and say, "Hey, we got all let's go back live." I'll pull you back live.
Okay.
So,
Well, if I don't reach out in like, in
yeah,
some certain amount of time or whatever, a month or whatever you feel, then I mean, definitely stay on top of it. And because it's not because I don't want to come back on, it's because I might
right,
forget.
right,
I
right,
might just get I might get tied up with an 11-month-old baby and like and just doing things and forget. So
I know how it is because, like,
yeah,
I was gonna message you, like, a week ago, and I was like, "I should message him and see if he's ready," and then I was like,
yeah,
"Alright, I'll do it later," and then I go home out of wo after work, and it's like, "What was I supposed to do? I forgot."
yeah,
So,
man. I do the same thing. I got to write reminders in my phone or I'll forget.
I better start
So
writing reminders because
yeah,
the podcast is hard, and like I said, people's been reaching out to come on, and it's like, my normal recordings are Tuesdays and, Fridays and Sundays. So if you
okay,
wanna come back on, you reach out anytime, other than them days, I'll bring you
yeah,
back on, we'll shoot. So,
okay, all right, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So I'll let you
Okay,
go
I'd
do
love
your
to do
song
that.
thing, and, yeah, everybody have a good
Awesome.
night. Hang
All
on
right.
1 minute though, wait 1 minute before you run.
Okay.
Uh, okay, and and I gotta end it everywhere. And, okay. It's just downloading a little bit from you. So this